Google just released 3 new Gemini models today, but its own flagship model was not one of them. Gemini 3.5 Pro is still missing. Back in May, Google said it expected to roll out the model the following month. June has passed, it's now July 21st. And Google's newest announcement, the company says Gemini 3.5 Pro is still being tested with partners. Google says it will release it broadly as soon as it is ready. So what happened? Why is the flagship model still delayed? And does any of this actually matter to you? Quick note, this is a research news breakdown. It is not a review. I have not tested Gemini 3.5 Pro yet because it is not publicly available. So let's break down what is confirmed, what is only reported, and what is still unknown. First, here's what Google actually released today. Google announced Gemini 3.6 Flash. It also announced Gemini 3.5 Flash Lite. And it introduced a specialized model called Gemini 3.5 Flash Cyber. The first two are available starting today. The Cyber model is more limited. Google says it will initially be available to the government and trusted partners through a restricted pilot. So Google is still releasing new Gemini models. It's still improving speed, cost, coding, and security, but the flagship Pro model is not part of this release. That's the important part. In today's official announcement, Google says Pro is still testing with partners, and the wording is careful. Google says it plans to make the model broadly available as soon as it is ready. Not today, not this week, just when it's ready. Now let's go back to May. At Google I/O, Google introduced the Gemini 3.5 family. Gemini 3.5 Flash launched first. Google said it was already working on 3.5 Pro. And the company said it looked forward to rolling out Pro in the following month. That meant June. June came and went. There was no public Pro launch, no public model card, no official pricing, and no access for normal users or developers. Google's current Gemini page still says 3.5 Pro coming soon, so the missed timeline is not speculation. You can see it on Google's own pages. What we do not have from Google is a detailed explanation of exactly what went wrong. That part comes from reporting. Reuters reported that the model has fallen short of internal goals. The biggest reported weakness is coding. Google has not publicly released those internal results, so we should be careful here. This is credible reporting, but it is not the same as Google publishing a full technical explanation. The fairest version is this. Gemini 3.5 Pro is delayed. Google is still testing it, and reporting suggests that coding performance is a major reason for this. So why would coding delay the entire model? Because coding has become one of the most valuable uses for advanced AI. Companies are not only asking models to answer questions anymore. They want them to build features, fix bugs, read large code bases, use tools, and complete long tasks with less supervision. This is where models like Claude, GPT, Kimi, and Gemini are competing very hard. A flagship model that struggles with coding would create a problem for Google, especially when the company is positioning Gemini around agents and real work. The reporting suggests Google is continuing to test the model instead of releasing it before it meets the company's internal goals. That does not prove that the model is bad, it only tells us that it's not broadly available yet. And today's announcement makes that even clearer. Google's released new Flash models. It announced that Gemini 4 training has already begun, but Gemini 3.5 Pro is still in testing. Now let's clean up some of the rumors. You may have seen claims about a 2 million token context window. Google has not confirmed this as an official Gemini 3.5 Pro specification. You may have seen DeepThink connected to 3.5 Pro, but Google's current public DeepThink model is Gemini 3.1 DeepThink. And you may have seen specific release dates passed around online, but Google has not announced a new public release date yet. Until Google publishes the model page, model card, pricing, and availability, those details should not be treated as facts. That does not mean that the rumor is false, it just means we don't know yet. And there's a big difference between an interesting rumor and a confirmed product. So what does this mean for regular users? Honestly, probably not much today. Google just released Gemini 3.6 Flash. That's a model that people can actually try. For normal questions, writing, research, and everyday work, you are not locked out of Gemini just because Pro is delayed. The people who should be watching this closely are developers and businesses, especially for anyone comparing high-end models for coding, agents, and large projects. For them, Gemini 3.5 Pro could matter. It has to become publicly available first, and then it has to be tested outside of Google. So here's my honest conclusion. Gemini 3.5 Pro did not launch today. Instead, Google released their 3 other Gemini models and directly confirmed that Pro was still testing with partners. That makes the delay the real story. Maybe Google releases it next week. Maybe it takes longer. We do not know. What we do know is that Google missed the original June window. The model is still not public, and the reported coding problems matter because coding is one of the biggest tests for a flagship AI model. This is not proof that Gemini 3.5 Pro will fail. It's proof that the model is not ready for a public verdict. And honestly, I'd rather say that than pretend an unreleased model is amazing. So let me know what you think. Would you rather Google release it now and improve it later, or wait until it's genuinely competitive? I'm Jacob with Jacob Labs. I break this stuff down as I learn it. If this is useful, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.